29 minutes now past the hour of 8 o'clock. Good morning and welcome into the Sunday Morning Gospel Show, our celebration of life of the late Anthony Berger. The forecast this morning, sunny, high of 42. Tonight, mostly clear, but becoming partly cloudy overnight, a low of 25. Right now, the temperature, it's 27 degrees at Q100. And Anthony had just finished up a brand new CD and was getting ready to release it in the next month or so. And next month was to release a brand new single, but I think they're going to rush that out. I've got a copy of that brand new single that Anthony was about to release to radio. This is an older version of the single they're about to release. He had recorded previously. So here it is. Anthony Berger this morning. Old Time Religion with the William Tell Overture. Anthony Berger there, the William Tell Overture and Old Time Religion. Great song there. That's to be his brand new single, probably released out to radio in the next week or so. He performed that a few years back when he came down to Hillview Christian Church along with the Tally Trio, along with the Fog and the Smoke Bombs. Wonderful, wonderful performer to see Anthony perform on stage. When he got into that, sweat was just literally dripping off of him. He put so much of his heart and soul into that song. 8:36, the forecast today, sunny, high of 42. Tonight, mostly clear, becoming partly cloudy overnight, and a low near 25. Right now, it's 27 degrees at Q100 as we celebrate the life of the late Anthony Berger this morning. Anthony passing away at the age of 44 this past Wednesday on a Gaither cruise. I read a little bit while ago from Tori Taft's email about what went on Wednesday. I'll continue on with some more of that email. Tori was in her cabin with Charlotte when Lisa Haas, Ernie's wife, called her and asked if I had heard anything about Anthony. Someone in the hall had said that he had passed out on stage and may even be dead. I said I would find out immediately and went running down the hall to the elevator. The first person I saw was Andrew Hayes, Amy's husband, who confirmed what had happened, Amy Gaither, formerly. He said Russ was right behind him, and as I rounded the corner, I met my husband Russ on the stairs. We headed straight for Bill Gaither's cabin and joined him at his table there. Gloria was still down with Lou Ann and the other artist backstage. Gaither was devastated. He was so shaken and so concerned for everyone. In over 40 years of singing, this has never happened on his stage. He kept asking after every artist returned and said that Linda Randall and her husband Michael, who's a pastor, were with Luann, Anthony's wife. It became clear that the artists were literally wandering the halls in shock, and Bill decided to gather them together and try to hold on to each other and just be together. The Inspiration guys on the cruise, not the Inspirations, the group, but the cruise crew, the Inspiration guys, secured a private meeting room, and the artists began to assemble there, hugging each other, crying, shaking their heads in disbelief. Russ and Tori's girl, Maddie, Rose, had not actually witnessed the whole thing, thankfully, but came into the concert in the middle of it and was there during a lot of the traumatic part. I kept her with us in the room with everyone. I wanted her to be a part of the grieving too. We stayed in that room till 1 that morning. We prayed together, sang songs, and told stories about Anthony. We found ourselves doing that thing you do when a tragedy strikes, where you all seem to need to talk about what you were doing when it happened and how you had just seen him that afternoon and what he had said earlier, almost like you were trying to make it real by saying it out loud. There was much shock and sadness and pain in that room. Anthony had no known history of heart trouble, no physical complaints that anyone was aware of. At one point, we all looked up, and Luann had quietly entered the room and said, "I just wanted to be with you all. I didn't know what else to do." She had spent some private moments with Anthony before they took him away, and she had been on the ship's phone trying to reach his family and children. She stayed with us for a long time, and eventually everyone began to head back to their rooms. A decision was made, with Luann's input, to continue the scheduled concerts in the morning, but to not attempt to carry on business-as-usual concert. Gaither said, "We'll just be there to try to minister to the people and let God tell us what to do." Becky Isaacs and Linda Randall stayed with Anthony's wife Luann that night, and Michael Randall took his Bible and settled into the meeting room to be there all night in case any of the artists couldn't sleep and needed to talk. He truly has a pastor's heart. And Tori continues to say, "Again, I have to tell you all, I have never been so proud to be a part of a group of people as I have been in these hours since Anthony left us. These artists from Bill and Gloria on down are such people of integrity and faith. To watch them comfort each other and support each other and affirm their faith to each other, it has been a life-changing experience, and I am honored to be able to count myself among these friends of Anthony's." The concerts that morning were full of tears, but also full of glorious singing and praise. As many of the artists have said, this is the time when you decide if you really believe what you've been singing about all these years or not. It's either true or it's not. And all of us on this ship who have gone through this cataclysmic experience together appear to have decided that we do indeed believe Anthony is with God. We will see him again. His soul is at peace, and his legacy will continue. And all of us loved him so very dearly. Please continue to pray for all of us, and of course, most especially for Anthony's family. You can see it starting to really sink in today, and this is written on Thursday, and I'll worry about the guys who are on the front lines, so to speak, backstage with Anthony through it all. It was a horrific thing to witness, the death of a friend so young and so shockingly unexpected. I also frankly worry about my husband Russ, who's trying to take care of everyone, especially Bill. Pray that they will all rest. No one has slept much at all. Blessings, peace, and comfort to all of you. In the name of the one that Anthony loved and served so very well, we love you, Tori Taff. Anthony Berger, playing that grand piano for Heaven's Choir now at the age of 44.
day. You know why he's life and breath to me. You know he's more than I could show. Means more to me than you'll ever know. Christ means more to me than I could possibly show.
You're listening to the 6,000-watt gospel voice of the valley, Randall Ham, on the Sunday morning gospel show here on WFLQ, French Lick.
8:47 on this celebration of life with the late Anthony Berger this morning on WFLQ French Lick. This is the Sunday morning gospel show. The forecast today, sunny, high of 42, and tonight mostly clear this evening, but becoming partly cloudy overnight, a low of 25. Right now, 27 degrees. Sunny conditions here at Q100. Harvey and Eva McAdams, McAdams Mortuary, proud to sponsor this portion of the Sunday Gospel Show, and hope you're enjoying all of today's programs. McAdams Mortuary, for a thoughtful service, a cherished tradition. Their family, serving your family since 1987. McAdams Mortuary on Highway 37 South in Paoli, making a difference. And of course, Anthony passing away this Wednesday, but on Friday, another great person passed away. A true comedic genius in all sense of the word. Just to look at him and some of the actions he did just made you burst out laughing. And for 5 seasons, he made us all laugh as the bumbling Deputy Fife on the Andy Griffith Show, talking about the late, great Don Knotts, passing away Friday at the age of 81. Dennis Swan does a great job of imitating Barney Fife. And here's from his Swan Takes a Sentimental Journey with the Stars, one called Letter from Mom.
Now listen up and listen good. You got the old barn. Bless your little heart. Whatever you're doing, nip it in the bud. Nip it. Listen, I want to share something with you, my dear mother. She wrote me letters all the time, and you know how letters can just touch your heart. And every time I bring this one out of my little packet of letters, it just gets me teared up every single time, bless her little heart. And I just wanted to read it to you. This was one that she wrote to me when I was in the police academy, sheriff's academy. We're one and the same there at Raleigh. And I think it might touch your heart as it touches mine every time I read it. Dear son, just a few lines to let you know that I'm still alive. I'm writing this letter slowly because I know that you cannot read very fast. You won't know the house when you come home. We've moved. About your father. He has a lovely job. He has 500 men under him. He's cutting the grass at the cemetery. There was a washing machine in the new house when we moved in, but it isn't working too good. Last week I put 14 shirts into it, pulled the chain, and I haven't seen the shirts since. Your sister Mary had a baby this morning. I haven't found out whether it is a boy or a girl, so I don't know whether you are an aunt or an uncle. Your Uncle Dick drowned last week in a vat of whiskey at the local brewery. Some of his workmates dived in to save him, but he fought them off bravely. We cremated his body and it took 3 days to put out the fire. Bless his little heart. It rained only twice last week. First for 3 days and then for 4. Monday, it was so windy that one of the chickens laid the same egg 4 times. Oh, my goodness gracious. We had a letter yesterday from the undertaker. He said if the last installment isn't paid on your grandmother within 7 days, up she comes. Your loving mother. P.S. I was going to send you $50, but I'd already sealed the envelope. Bless her little heart. It's the thought that counts.